clearly? Is it okay? Good. So today we are going to continue Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10. This is verse 5 onwards. It's a very, very interesting verses that are there. Like yesterday, I was telling you all that there are 10 different things which we discussed yesterday. That is right from the beginning of the chapter, where he says that the creation of the universe, the sub-creation, planetary system, protection by the Lord, the creative impetus, the change of Manus, science of God, returning home back to Godhead, liberation, and the Samam Bonam. So we discussed about all these things yesterday, and I gave you all an understanding that the science of God, that means who is this God that we are talking about, we will be actually understanding over here. All right. So now let us see from verse 5 onwards. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10 and verse 5 onwards. The science of God describes the incarnation of the personality of Godhead and his different activities together with the activities of his great devotees. Now in this verse, what is he saying? You will find that knowing God. Does anybody know God? If I ask this question to all of you all, you will not be able to answer this question because hardly anybody knows God. The idea is that God is some person in the sky and maybe he has got many avatars. He takes various forms. This is general idea everybody has. And we have been taught from childhood how this differentiation happens in this world. That means, say for example, when we look at, say, Shiva as a god, he is different than Mahavishnu, is different than Brahmaji, is different than Lakshmi. Everybody is different and they are part of the whole. You will find that no individual deity or divinity controls anything. They control only a section and part of it. And that is the reason why the question about God is so very important. So science of God. So what does he say? You have to understand the science of God, the various incarnations, how they came about. Please understand, in our Sanatan Dharma, the most important line is finding God within. Got the point? So, if we say that God is everywhere, that means he is there in you, he is there in the computer, he is there in this earth, in the sun and the moon and the stars and everything. Isn't that how we look at it? Now, people think this is called consciousness. I am sure you have heard this word called, terminology called divine consciousness. So we consider that as a divine consciousness. Somebody considers it as that. Some other people think that God is a person with a big beard and stuff like that. Some people think that God has got, he is all knowing, he is everywhere and he is all powerful. But there are other entities. Entities like the demons, the devils, the negative elements around. And where are they? So if I have to ask a child also, can you see God? The answer is going to be no. I have gone to the temple, church and all these places and I have seen some images. This is how they look at it. If you ask them, has anybody in your family or anywhere else has seen God? The answer is no. Why? Because nobody is able to see God. So there has to be some answer for this. Remember, this chapter which we are doing is the last chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2. It is saying very clearly, it's the answer to all questions. So whatever question that you have, regarding this subject about God, the answer will be given to you. Alright? So now we have to find out what these answers are. So here he says, the science of God describes the incarnations of Sri Krishna, that is the divine consciousness or whatever you want to call him, and the activities together with the activities of his devotees. So here it is mentioned that all the avatars are going to get discussed. Avatar taking a form. You understand? Avatar means he has taken a form. God has the freedom to take any form, correct? See, he is God. That is why he can take any form. So yes, he has taken a form. So we have to learn about the form. He is doing some different activities. In some of the places, he has gone to the jungle for 14 years. Right? In one avatar, he has taken an avatar of a fish. Somewhere he has taken an avatar of a wild boar. Somewhere he has taken an avatar of a half animal and half human being. Can you imagine all these things? And in one avatar, he has taken the form of a man. In another, he has taken the form of someone who is giving us one of the most beautiful lessons of life. That is like the Bhagavad Gita. So there are various forms. So we are going to discuss these forms. And there are some activities that got conducted during his time, his reign over here. And he has devotees. Devotees are those who revere him. They pray to him. They are a part of his coterie. So they are a part of his circle, the inner circle. So when he is doing that, how does it work? So we have to understand this. So we are going to get answers of this question also. Now see the next one. Verse 6 says, the merging of the living entities along with the conditional living tendencies with the mystic lying down of the Mahavishnu is called the winding up of the cosmic manifestation. Liberation in the permanent situation in the form of living entity after he gives up the changeable gross and the subtle material bodies. So we are going to understand life, death. We are going to understand the beginning of time, the end of time. How sustenance also happens. What is it that when we say that there is a Mahavishnu avatar and he is sleeping on the ocean of milk? So what is this ocean of milk? What is this snake that we are talking about? Adishesh. Who is he? These are some of the questions which have rankled literally everybody. Try thinking in a logical way. Logic is going to fail. Simply because we cannot visualize these things. It is very impossible for a human being to understand this nitty-gritty of different things. Agreed? And that is the reason why we are going to get some kind of a knowledge which we are going to apply, and we are going to go ahead in learning this Srimad Bhagavatam, because we have to get all the answers right from here. Now, the start of the answer is this. So the next verse 7 says, the Supreme One, who is celebrated as the Supreme Being or the Supreme Soul, which is the Paramatma, is the Supreme Source of cosmic manifestation as well as the reservoir and winding up. Thus he is the Supreme Fountainhead and the Absolute Truth. So we have to first go back to the source. The source is the Divine Lord Himself. So He is the one who creates, sustains, and destroys. Where does this happen? Because He is eternal, never ending. There is no way of saying that He is so much or He is so much. So we get to understand that He is endless. There is no word which says that He is limited. And because He is endless, think, if I am talking in terms of eternity, can I say anything is outside eternity? Common sense will tell you this is a very logical thing. Eternity is Him. If eternity is this divine consciousness, why is it that anything that is done is outside this consciousness? It cannot be, isn't it? So we have to ensure the first line that this supreme being, we say He is a supreme being. See, if He is not a being, we cannot understand this with the terminology that He is everywhere like Brahma, divine, unmanifest. Unmanifest, we don't know where it is, isn't it? So we have to just ensure that we are saying that He is a supreme person. Let us take this as a starting statement. He is a supreme person. He is also the supreme soul, the Param Atma. Everything is Him alone. He is Paramatma, we are within Him, so we are a portion of Him. Jivatma, a tiny, tiny portion of Him. We are within His being, and yet we are not within His being because we still are not able to gauge. We are still not able to understand the meaning of these words. It is nearly impossible for anybody to actually understand these words. So he says, He is also the source of cosmic manifestation, that means the creator. And the reservoir, the place where everything is, and the winding up, which means the termination, everything ends in the same place. These words should have sufficient explanation for you. Thus, He is the place from where everything comes. Agreed? And that is the absolute truth. So we have to accept this as an absolute truth. Just say yes, yes, and yes to everything that is being said. Why? We have no choice. Do you have a choice? Is the absolute truth? I have to know Him. I have to go towards Him. Final end is also over there. Beginning is there, middle is there, end is there. I am within His being. He is the super soul. I am the Jivatma. He takes care of everything, ensuring that everything works in the way that it is supposed to work. Got it? And that is where we have to finally get to the truth of the matter, which means reaching the absolute truth. All right? Now, this was the first part of the explanation. Now we go to the second part of the explanation. This is verse 8. The individual person possessing different instruments of senses is called Adhyatmic person. The individual controlling deity of the senses is called Adhidaivik. The individual deity of the senses is called Adhidaivik. The embodiment self of the eyeballs is called the Adi Bhautik. You remember these are the three words which have already come in use before. They were there in the Bhagavad Gita, right? So, Adidaivik, Adibhautik, Adhyatmik. So, these are the three things. We heard these words before. But where do they apply? Where do they apply? So, let us say I take a physical entity, the eyeballs. Is it connected to elements? it is made up of the 5 elements, correct? It is actually made up of all the 5 elements that exist in this world. So, bhautik, bhutas means elements, adi bhautik. So, the term eyeball is connected to adi bhautik. This is an example which is given. So, let us extrapolate on this example. The controlling deity of the senses is called Adhidaivik. Adhidaivik. Devas are gods. Deities. Deities means those who control some things. Like Saraswati controls knowledge, intelligence and so on. Lakshmi controls money, finances and so on. Brahmaji controls the creation. So I hope you got that answer. So Daivik, that means Daivik is connected to the controlling energy or the power of something. This example is of an eyeball, right? The one who controls the vision. The one who controls the power of the vision. The controlling deity of the senses. What is the sense connected to the eyeball? Vision. Correct? So vision is connected to a god. We call him God because we are believers. The non-believers will say the power of vision. Isn't that correct? Those who are scientists and those who believe in science, they don't believe that there is some God controlling anything. So according to them, there is a particular segment in the brain which is the seat of vision. There's a vision. This vision is controlled by this particular portion in the brain. This is how they look at it. Those who are believers like us, we are the people from the Bhakti Marg. So what do we say? We say that this particular thing, Daivik, is connected to a controlling God. So vision is controlled by a God. I hope you get the point. Instead of saying it is in the brain, the believers say there is a God who is controlling it. The instrument of senses is called Adhyatmic person. These senses, like just now we were talking about the sense of vision, sense of hearing, sense of smelling, sense of tasting, sense of touching. All this is collectively within this individual. The individual, you are an individual. Eyeball, sense of seeing. These are collective senses. There are so many senses are there. They are collectively put together. And we say this person, this individual, this entity which is having this entire thing, the whole being of ours, is Atma is controlling it. Who is controlling it? The soul controls the body. Correct? We know this, isn't it? So in the end, finally, Adhyatmik. Atma. Atma in word, in English we will say spirit, soul. So there is no word as such, but just to understand it. Soul is one thing, spirit is another. The word adhyatmic also means spiritual. If I am giving you adhyatmic knowledge, just now I am giving you knowledge, it's the knowledge of the truth. Am I not telling you the truth over here? I am reading the scriptures and I am telling you the truth. So adhyatmic. Did you get it? So now let me recap this thing. First, a person is there, this individual. This individual has a controlling deity, somebody is controlling this whole body of mine. So we say Atma controls it. So the person who controls it is called the Atma. So Adhyatmic. Then we come to individual senses. Just now we took the sense of eyes, the eyeball. Let us take ears. Now if I say ear, that is Adi Bhuta. That means the pinny. This is called the pinna. Okay, the ear which you see outside is called the pinna. Inside the ear is the eardrum, correct? All those tympanum we call it. And inside there are those three bones. And this is inside, we hear it. So the second part is, first is Adi Bhuta. Bhuta means elements. It's made out of elements. That is, the physical body is actually made of elements, right? So elements are there. So Adi Bhuta, the ear is Adi Bhuta. Adi Bhuta has the characteristic of hearing. What is it? Hearing. Hearing is a sense in the body, correct? I hear. There is loud noise coming in. Somebody is playing music. But there is a deaf person. There is a deaf person. What is not working? See, the deaf person cannot hear. That means the God within, Adi Daivik, the Daiva is out of action. Understood? Now, this is where the Visarga, this whole thing is spreading out now. You remember yesterday we did Sarga and Visarga. So now you will find ear, hearing, soul. Three things we discussed. Did you get it? Okay, now we will go to the next verse. Verse 9. All three of the above mentioned stages of different living entities are interdependent. In the absence of one, another is not understood. But the Supreme Being who sees every one of them as a shelter of the shelter is independent of all, and therefore he is the supreme shelter. All right. So let me explain this verse to you. Let us say I am hearing some sounds. I am hearing some sounds. The sound is of a phone ringing. So what is working? My ear is working, the external organ. Hearing is working. Okay. So I have Adi Bhuta working. I have Adi Daiva working. And my soul is supposed to hear it. Correct? This Adhyatmic is supposed to know that there is somebody's phone ringing. Now, I am a blind person. I am a blind person. Can I tell exactly where the phone is ringing? There are 100 people in the room. Somebody's phone is ringing. Can I pinpoint it? Can I go to that person and say, sir, your phone is ringing. Can I say those words? No way. Another example. I am telling a blind man, this rose is red in color. This rose is red in color. Remember, he is a blind man. He can hear. But the rose is not red in color, it is white in color. How will that person know it is white or red? I have said it is red in color. He has to assume it is red in color. Are you understanding this much or no? I am trying to be as slow as possible, go as slow as possible. I will give you an example of this. Let us say, now you have known me for a few years, all of you. You have seen me do satsangs over here. Many people have visited, have stayed with me. Some have stayed with me for years, some have stayed with me for months, some have stayed with me for days. Now you have first-hand knowledge about me. Now there is another person, an outsider. He has not met me. He has not seen me. But he has heard some people talk about me. Do you think that that person's judgment is going to be right? Because he is going to be judging, isn't it? So, any person who doesn't have all the senses working, getting a practical knowledge, the adhyatmika part doesn't work. Did you get the point or no? The adhyatmika part doesn't work. But there is a flaw in this sentence. Atma is connected to Paramatma. Just now we did that. So why is it that if Atma is connected to Paramatma and Paramatma is the knower of everything, in the previous verse we said, no, he is the absolute truth, he knows everything, then why is it that this Atma not knowledgeable? So here is, in this sense, it is said, in the absence of one, another one is not understood. Did you get the point? The understanding is a material worldly understanding. You will never understand material worldly people because they are driven by their senses. They see, they make judgment. They hear, they make judgment. But they are not using their entire being. Are they using their entire being, the Adhyatma? No. They have only partial knowledge. Partial knowledge is not going to help us. How many people make the mistake of calling Krishna by different names? Right? People have said, how can someone have 16,000 plus wives? Think. If you do not have the knowledge, the adhyatmic knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, you will never be able to understand anything in this world. So this knowledge has to be independent. But the Supreme Being who sees every one of them as a shelter of the shelter, is independent of all, and therefore he is the supreme shelter, which simply translates into, till you do not go to God, you are not going to know anything. Are you understanding this? Till this individual soul, individual one, doesn't merge with God, you are not going to understand anything. I will give a simple example. You are climbing a mountain. You are climbing a mountain. When you are at the base of the mountain, how much surrounding can you see? You can see only a little bit of your surrounding. Forget mountain. You are climbing up to, say, one of the tallest buildings in the world. Burj Khalifa. Okay, Burj Khalifa. Now you are climbing that, but you are just now on the ground floor. What do you see on the ground floor? Some road in front of you, some cars are going, something is happening. Now you climb the stories and you go to 20th floor. How much can you see? As much vision as you have of the 20th floor, correct? As you climb higher and higher and higher, the topmost floor, you will be able to see the entire city of Dubai. Is that correct or no? Similarly, the Divine Lord, being the highest, can see everything that is happening. He is having the power of knowing everything. Whereas you are on the ground floor. Did you get the example? You are only on the ground floor. God stays on the upper floors. God stays on the upper floors. You cannot understand anything. Now, this Burj Khalifa is your body. What is it? Burj Khalifa is only your body. You are in the lowest rung of the body. You are at the feet. When you are at the feet, the God is in this place. How can you understand anything? See, here there is a twisting of words. Actually, this book is telling you the truth. What is it telling you? It's telling you God stays above, the devilish and the demonic world stays below. Their vision is limited. When you come to the Mooladhara, you have only vision up to the groin. That's it. Groin and below. When you come up to the navel, your job is only that below. You cannot see above. When you climb up to the heart, your heart can see below. But the job is for a person to traverse this entire thing and go up. So when he reaches the top, he has knowledge of everything. The Supreme Being who sees every one of them as a shelter of the shelter is independent of all. The Divine Lord is not connected anywhere. He is free. In the body also, do you remember, after the Agya Chakra to the Sahasrara, there is no communication. There is a gap in between. There is no connectivity there. That is that particular place. Brahmarandhra it is called. It is blank. It's a space. It is a blank space. So the God above is not known. And yet he is the controlling factor of everything. Did you get this? Isn't this part of your brain inside controlling everything. So physically also it is right, no? So I hope you get this point where it is mentioned that physically the God exists within you. You have been made in an image of God. Is that understood? And that is the reason why he is called the supreme shelter. So we have come to the end of verse 9 and we will stop over here for today.
Recording stopped.